Howdy folks, Iwegian here. Today I'm going to do a tabletop review on my Ruger Alaskan. Of course I've already safety checked it, it's unloaded as you can see. This is a 44 Magnum revolver. Here's a few specs on it. Okay, so Ruger Alaskan, it's chambered in 44 Magnum. You can also shoot 44 Special. I've been known to shoot 44 Russian. It's a real light shooting round. If you have any questions about that, I think what I had in stock to shoot in this gun, I've now depleted, and I have not seen that advertised anywhere online, that particular brand, but I have found 44 Russian. If you're recoil sensitive, that's a good choice. If you're recoil sensitive, I don't really recommend a 44 Magnum, but if you are afraid of shooting 44 Magnum, it does hurt a little bit sometimes. I understand that. I would try 44 Special before you make any judgments one way or the other. 44 Special shoots pretty light. Okay. So this has a tiny 2.5 inch barrel. Although that's not too much smaller than the two Smith & Wessons I have that have 3 inch barrels. And you know, you'll suffer no loss of accuracy with a short barrel. Some people say you do, but I have not noticed that myself. It weighs 41 ounces, okay, which is pretty massive. It's not a small gun. Aside from being heavy, it's bulky. That's sort of the appeal of this to me, actually. First time I saw this, I wanted one. I did buy one from Gander Mountain way back when they were still in business, and probably paid too much for it. I foolishly traded it in on a Russian SKS rifle. Then a couple years ago, I said, hey, I'm buying another one. I saw one in a local gun shop, so I bought another one, and I've been very happy with it. I did change the stock grips. This is what comes on it. These have a big, thick recoil pad inside. They are comfortable. They do absorb a lot of recoil, and that's nice. I've shared with you in the past that I don't dig the rubber grips because I tend to carry inside the waistband concealed with my shirt over it. This rubber just hangs up on t-shirts, okay? So I tried a Hogue grip for the Alaskan, and to me, it's comfortable. It kind of looks cool. It's a little bit too Star Warsy for me with all these swoops and stuff, but practically what I didn't like was this edge sticks out a lot when you're inside the waistband, and I'd like to someday take a try at machining that off around. Reason I haven't done it is I'm not sure what to do with this checkering here. I'm pretty sure it won't look really good if I just chop it off, but I wish Hogue would take care of that, and this would be my favorite grip probably. These here are a hybrid rubber wood grip that I got from, I believe, Altamont, and I had a little problem installing these. I've taken the screw out so you can see. If I can get them out here. So the way these are intended to install is you slide the rubber portion of the grip over the stem of the handle, and then there's an insert piece here that holds the grips on. Okay, and that's how I understand they mount on GP100s. The problem is that pin for GP100s is a different diameter than the hole in the Ruger frame, and I couldn't find anything to work. And you can't leave the pin out and just rely on the screw to hold everything on because they'll be loose. Okay, so I called Ruger. They machined this aluminum 2-piece pin that's threaded, and there's a stud in one half, and basically you slide the grip on, put both sides of the pin in it, tighten it down by hand or with a pair of pliers, and then install the wood halves, and they're secured with the screw. And I was impressed that they did that for me for free. They knew exactly what I was talking about, and they said, yeah, those grips are intended for a GP100, but here's a fix for you. And I thought that was extremely cool of Ruger. Okay, so when I carry this, here is some representative ammo. I prefer hollow point for carry. This is 44 Special, this is 44 Magnum. I've shown this comparison before. The Special cartridge has a shorter case, holds less powder. Doesn't look like much, but it's worlds difference between these two. And with a gun this heavy, 44 mag is really not that bad to shoot, especially if you're used to it. What I noticed was with rubber grips, when I shoot it, that rubber just nails the web of my hand, and I end up, it takes skin off. So sometimes I'll just wear like a weightlifting glove or some, like, what do you call them, nose pickers with no fingers. I'll wear that sometimes when I shoot, and I'm not embarrassed to say that. I mean, I go to the range not that often, and when I do, I want to shoot a box of ammo, and if I've got a box of 44 Magnum, after a while you start feeling it, and that raises hell on my skin. So I'll wear a glove. If I'm shooting Special, it doesn't really matter because the recoil's not that bad. Okay. All right, so when I conceal carry this, here's a holster that's specifically made for the gun, and instead of putting the screw in, I'm going to try to hold these grips on as I talk, but this is a holster for inside the waistband carry, so it's got a single belt loop. This is made by Ross Leather Company. I found that they had fairly cheap leather holsters online. When I first bought this, I didn't know what to use, and they were one of the first companies I saw. So I ordered their holster, and quite frankly, I was not impressed. It was flimsy leather. It had brads on the inside that holds this piece that were exposed to the gun, and I was afraid it was going to scratch it. So I complained about it, and they made me a custom one that's just, they really did this thing up. It's very high quality, and they took my input and then modified the holster, which I thought was really cool. So Ross Leather Company, made in South Africa. So that's a decent holster. It's one of those that when you have it inside your waistband, it closes, and so you need to sometimes spread it before you stick the gun in. That's just an annoying side effect of this type of holster. This is my Simply Rugged Pancake holster for my 629 Smith. This is definitely usable with the Alaskan. It's not specifically intended for this gun. It's a little tight because of the bigger frame, and the trigger guard's not completely concealed, but the trigger is. So I call that safe. Specifically, or especially because with this type of holster inside your waistband, you know, the cylinder can't turn anyway. It's too tight. There's too much pressure on it. But technically the trigger's covered, so, and the more I use it with this, the deeper it goes in there. It almost fits. So I've decided not to waste another $100 on a Simply Rugged just for this gun when the 629 works just as well. Okay, that's about it. That's my tabletop review of the Ruger Alaskan. Again, it's chambered in 44 Magnum. You can also shoot 44 Special. I don't have any 44 Russian left. It's got a 2.5-inch barrel, and it's a massive 40 ounces. But the gun's a lot of fun, and I enjoy target shooting with it, but occasionally when it's coat weather, I will conceal carry this, and you need a good belt. I've got a big heavy leather belt to keep it stable, because that's a lot of weight hanging off your belt, but it's definitely doable, and I've had zero problems with it. I'm very happy with the finish. I know I've fingerprinted it all up, but they do a nice job of buffing this thing, and it's not extremely shiny, but it's also a smooth looking, nice stainless finish. I didn't really say anything about the sights. They're nothing special. It's the raised white outline blade sight in the back, and then a simple black front sight, adjustable in the rear. I think this shot low when I bought it. I had to make a few adjustments, but it's minor, no big deal. Depends on what kind of ammo you're shooting too, so I have no idea what they sighted it in on. Okay, well, if you got any questions about that, if you're considering buying one, I certainly recommend it. I'm not an expert on this. I've shot it a lot and have enjoyed shooting it. It's one of my favorite revolvers. So let me know down in the comments if you have any questions or ammo questions, for example. I can just tell you what works for me. All right, well, thanks for watching. Iowegian signing out.